Hey, it's Mika from over at Horses and Reading. This is my first vlog, so please bear with me as I try to figure this thing out. I'm going to tell you what I've just read, what I am reading, and what I'm about to read. What I have read, I just read Alice in Zombieland by Gena Showalter. I loved this book. It had a great female protagonist. It had action, it had zombies, it had a real romance on the side. It was probably my ideal book. And you can read more about what I thought in my review. Another book I just read is Sweet Venom by Tera Again, I loved this book. I loved how Tera took a monster from Greek mythology, the three Gorgon sisters, Medusa, and turned them into heroes and just protectors, guardians. It was amazing, and she wrote with a lot of humor. I love her other books. Oh My Gods, Goddess Boot Camp, Fins Are Forever, Forgive My Fins, those books. She's a great writer, and this was no exception. A book I am reading. I'm currently reading Starling by Lesley Livingston. I had high hopes for this book and high expectations for this book, and so far it's not really living up to my expectations like I'd hoped. It's very slow going. It's not as action-packed as I'd hoped. There isn't much fighting, not many fighting scenes, and a little confusing. It's Norse mythology, which I don't know very much about, and I don't think Lesley Livingston really explains it enough. I loved her other series, Wondrous Strange, so we'll see if maybe she can pull through with this and turn it into a great book. Another book I'm reading is Wired for Story, The Writer's Guide to Using Brain Science to Hook Readers from the Very First Sentence. It's a very interesting read. It's pretty much the science behind reading and writing, what compels people to read books, what makes a good book, pretty much in a scientific sense. So it's a really interesting read. I think anyone could really just pick it up and read it. What I'm going to read, a book, Soulbound, Legacy of Troll by Brewer. It looks very interesting. I picked it up a couple weeks ago in the bookstore. I love that cover. It really drew me in. Looks like a strong female protagonist. The only setback I think would be it seems to focus a lot on romance, which I don't really like. I like a little romance on the side, but I don't like a book that its main focus is romance. Another book is Personal Demons by Desrocher. I'm a little tentative about this book because it seems to focus a lot on the romance and stereotypical love triangle. It just seems too cliche for me, and it doesn't seem to have much of plot besides romance. But we'll see. Another book, Devil's Kiss, in my to-be-read pile. I tried reading this book about a year ago. I had to put it down because I had to return it to the library. It was overdue. So I'm trying to pick this back up again, and we'll see how it goes. Another book, I am very ashamed to admit, I have yet to read Mockingjay. Yes, I know. People have been begging me to read it, and I haven't yet to get around to it. Lots been going on. After I finish Starling, I will read Mockingjay, and I'll put my review up. I have very high hopes for this book. I've heard a lot of good things about it. Another book I'm very sad to admit I have not read is Rapture by Lauren Kate. It's the 4th book in the Fallen series and the final book. I'm really excited. I love this cover like all the other covers. Except it has a white dress, so it should prove to be very exciting, I hope. I love Lauren Kate's writing, and we'll see. Final book that I have to read, Insurgent. I read Veronica Roth's Divergent, and I loved it. I don't know how she's going to follow it up with Insurgent, but I've heard great things about it, so hopefully I will love this book, and I have to get around to it. So those are the books that I have read, am reading, and are about to read. Thank you. That's my very first vlog.